Today I will introduce everyone to a romantic movie. This was Jamie, a genius salesman. Everybody liked him regardless of their age. In this world he could sell everything. Flirt with everybody. That day, he was caught when he was flirting with his boss's wife. Jamie was kicked out. But he did not panic. After all, he was a rich man who wanted to prove himself. So his bro arranged another job for him. Jamie started selling drugs. After 2 months of training, Jamie returned with 2 jobs that he was most familiar with, selling and flirting. But this time his selling skills didn't work. Facing the professional doctor, he absolutely got stuck. Until he found out an exit: pretty girls. These girls helped Jamie bring the goods to the doctor, also giving him a chance to find the key to wealth. $1000. To get closer to those in the medical industry, Jamie pretended to be a medical intern and entered the hospital room. Right then he hadn't expected that he could meet his true love here. A patient with Parkinson's disease. The 26-year-old Maggie. It must be said that Maggie was such a beautiful girl. When seeing Maggie, Jamie looked at her without blinking, taking every opportunity to talk to her. But he accidentally saw Maggie's breasts. When Maggie just left the hospital, she encountered Jamie. Finding that Jamie was the medical representative, Maggie didn't say much. Just be him. What a cool girl. Jamie could not resist, immediately playing his role, asking for her phone number. Honestly, except for being the ladies' man, Jamie was a very nice man. He was born into a rich family. He was also a caring brother, knowing how to comfort others. He couldn't wait any longer to invite Maggie out. Maggie was really looking forward to this too. They planned to meet at the coffee shop at 5 o'clock. When meeting, the first sentence, Maggie said, "Let's go to my house." This is such an excellent modern romantic movie. Just shooting a few buildings, a few convoys. The love in the movie doesn't have to undergo many misunderstandings. Their happy blossoming life later was even beyond question. Later, the genius salesman Jamie finally had trouble at work. He was beaten by his rival. The rival warned him to stay away from Maggie. Meanwhile, the rival also talked about Jamie and Maggie with the girl at the hospital. Concerning his work, Jamie was done for. Jamie was furious. If that's trouble at work, then he turned to love. He immediately came to Maggie, as an idiot, finding some stupid excuses to enter her house. Unexpectedly, the rival who beat him was Maggie's ex-boyfriend. Jamie was jealous. Is he? That day, Jamie looked calm, but actually he was so confused inside. He had fallen in love with Maggie. In the morning after a sweet night, he saw Maggie's works. He just knew Maggie used to be an artist before she was diagnosed. The incurable disease ruined her life, destroying all of her. At that very moment, Maggie felt the onset of the disease. She was even unable to open the bag. She didn't say much. Maggie chased him away. Unlucky in love, Jamie just focused on work. At this moment he seized the most important opportunity in life. The blue pill. This little blue pill would change Jamie's entire life. But he hadn't known yet. At night, he said a few romantic words for the first time. "I like your voice." It was also the first time in his life. He waited for a girl all night. Jamie knew he had fallen in love. He loved a girl with an incurable disease. When getting off, Maggie was also very clear. She loved him. That's the way. Their relationship was set. At this moment, Jamie's career blossomed. His blue pill had been sold very well. He and Maggie had a very satisfying life. Only they knew that the greatest suffering was still waiting ahead. Here, the male protagonist had offered the trendiest confession of love in modern films. "I love you." After so many dates, Jamie said, "I love you." Yes, for this couple with liberal modern thought, dating was just an entertaining game. But love was a very serious topic. That's the way. Jamie and Maggie began to enjoy love. But Maggie discovered that her disease was getting worse. From then on, the film became a fairy tale for adults. Maggie couldn't hold the scissors, open the bottle, or get up from bed. Seeing herself about to paralyze half, she decided to kick Jamie away. But Jamie stayed. He brought Maggie to Chicago, joined a discussion group. But looking at the patients whose situation was even worse than Maggie. In other words, Maggie's future made him scared. His previous impressions of the final stages of the incurable disease now became so clear. Several years, or decades later, Maggie's life would no longer be free. Her disease would rob the best of her. Could love be against all? Jamie didn't know. While he hesitated, Maggie said the words he had been waiting for a long time. "I love you." Now the worries were let down. Maggie accepted herself, just wanting to live well. But Jamie wished to cure Maggie. In the following days, Jamie brought Maggie to all the hospitals and departments, looking for a doctor just to be disappointed. Finally, Maggie shouted at Jamie, "You helped me find a doctor not because I couldn't bear it, but because you can't stand it. Let's just go home. We can even make love. And then you have to leave." Just like that, at a snowy night, they broke up. Jamie took his luggage and left, moving back to his apartment, working, playing, going to parties. This is probably the most common result of modern love. But except for love, this is also a fairy tale. In this fairy tale, Jamie felt tormented every second, until they happened to meet at the restaurant. Maggie had a new boyfriend. Boring and vulgar. Jamie had been promoted, coming to the peak of life. They met again after a long time. Jamie spoke the old words.
How are you? Maggie.
Then Jamie came home, remembering the good days before. He chased after Maggie, who was leaving, saying that,
I need you.
this statement is not a gentle confession of love. It is the oath of life. Whether this decision is the result of careful consideration, or just a momentary excitement, it is a touching decision anyway. Actually, only watching the previous half, we would find the male and female lead irresponsible. No one could expect that in the end. The male lead is so responsible and reliable. In 2 hours, the movie makes the audience convinced. Love, then reunite. Love and desire are coming together.